Hey, how's it going guys? Welcome back for another TOS video. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 3 Celestial cards, which are Ultimate Stage card. Right, they are coming back for a power release. Right, so we're going to take a look in this video about their power release form, their active skill, and whether or not they'll be back in the current meta. Right, so the first one that's going to be released to us will be Taisang Laojun, which is going to be released on Wednesday next week, 27 June, followed by Yuan Shi Tian Jun, which is from next Friday to Sunday. Right, so let's take a look at these 2 cards first. Right, so to start off, we have Taisang Laojun. Oh my gosh, all these Chinese names. Right, so CD10, so basically there is no change in CD at all, right? Pre-power release and post-power release, they are still at CD10. So the only change is in the active skill, whereby it changes. Previously, before power release, it's going to change the whole board into Earth runes, and now after power release, it's going to convert the whole board into Earth runes as well. Just that the current Earth runes on the board is going to be converted to enchanted Earth God runes instead. Right, so it's basically a full board convert, just a bit of improvement, right? Just a slight enchantment as well as additional God runes. So on top of that, if your whole team is God, in 1 round combo plus 5. Right, so this is a bit of a change in active skill for Taisang Laojun here. Basically, when you do 1 combo, which is 1 full board dissolve, most of the time you only get 1 combo, right? So in terms of combo count, it's going to be super little. So this is going to be a bit of a change just to have a bit of improvement in terms of damage output, right? So plus 5 combos, this means that we will have at least 6 combo when we do this full board dissolve. Right, so in my opinion, I feel that this card here is not really gonna be used still even after power release, right? Because one of the main reason is he's still at CD10. Right, CD10 as far as current meta is a very long charging CD, right? So I doubt that people is gonna use this card, right? Unless you're really short of cards to use, right? So the only way I foresee this card, people will use this card is probably like a short battle, right? For example, like using Amaterasu plus Taisang Laojun. So immediately you can use this big burst to slaughter small stages, right? Maybe things like Void Realm stages and stuff like that. Right, so other than that, I don't think this card will be used much, right? So let's take a look at Yuan Shi Tian Jun. Right, so what you see here is the active skill for the water one. So I don't think I will need to explain much because it's literally the same thing as Taisang Laojun, right? Just that it's the water counterpart, which converts a full water board instead of an earth board, and then at the same time, if your team is full of gods, and combo count plus 5. Right, so basically, remarks or comments is basically the same as the earth one, right? So Amaterasu team and stuff like that is gonna be more suitable for this playstyle. Right, so let's go on to the more important card in this card review, and that is Tongtian Jiaozu. Alright, so one more thing to note before I move on to Tongtian Jiaozu. Right, so these 2 cards, including Tongtian Jiaozu as well, right, they're going to have a brand new evolved material, as you can see on the screen right now. Right, requires 4 of them plus a demon sword. So I assume that these 4 materials is going to be dropped during their new stage. Right, so their new stage is called Terror Stage, which is something that we have never encountered before. Yes, we do have Ultimate Stage, we have Nightmare Stage, we have Horror Stage. So there is a brand new Terror Stage going on, right? Will be released to us next Wednesday. Right, so as what Matt say, it's gonna be the same difficulty level as Nightmare, right? Around the same difficulty as Nightmare. So just to let us have some sort of preparation, right? So let's move on to Tongtian Jiaozu. So Tongtian Jiaozu's demo video has been leaked, right? So I think Manhit staff has accidentally uploaded the wrong one, right? Hence some of us have managed to grab hold of Tongtian Jiaozu's active skill, right? So what you can see here is his power release form, right, at CD8 once again. So before you get power release Tongtian Jiaozu, he's at CD8. After power release, is still at CD8, right? Just a change of active skill. Right, so previously, for 1 round, light and dark runes possess effect of fire, right, which is like what? Nobunaga have that as a passive skill, right? So which is totally redundant for the pre-power release Tongtian Jiaozu. Right, so after power release, you get fire converted into fire enchanted plus demon runes. Right, so enchant fire demon runes. So this is the first time demon rune has appeared in the game. Right, so this is going to be the first card that utilizes demon rune. So on top of that, in one round, all the other attributes possess effect of fire. Right, so this is going to be a one turn buff burst card kind of thing. Right, so demon runes, most of the time you'll be thinking maybe you can put it in a Groth team or maybe a Cao Cao team. Right, so most likely Groth, because Cao Cao is totally not playable now unless we receive some sort of power release for Cao Cao. Right, so in which I really hope they do, so we can only pray that Madhead gives power release to all these exclusive seals that came last year or the year before. So what made Tongtian Jiaozu stand out from the other two cards is that Tongtian Jiaozu actually have a team skill, right, with Felix the Cat Duke. So what you can see here is the team skill for these two cards. So let's read the active skill. So the whole board is going to be converted into demon runes. So for one round, all runestones possess effects of each other. Right, so it's an upgraded version of Tongtian Jiaozu. Right, but to trigger this team skill, you need to have Tongtian Jiaozu power release and power release Felix the Cat Duke in your team. Right, so on top of that, you need to, both cards need to be level 50 and above, right, which is obvious, right? So I don't think you will undergo a power release stage without it being max level, right? So this requirement is actually the pre-power release requirement. I think they just kind of carry it over. Right, so in my opinion, I don't think this is going to be used much, right, unless you put it in the Cao Cao team, because Cao Cao team actually buff the HP of demons, making it not so paperish. So Tongtian Jiaozu plus Felix is 2 demons, so that's really going to cripple your entire team's HP. Right, so unless, as I mentioned, you're running a Cao Cao team, HP should be pretty decent. So other than that, I don't see the use of these two cards wasting your 2 slots for these 2 cards, right? You could have been better off with other teams. So for now, we can kind of farm Tongtian Jiaozu. I think he's one of the more, he's one of the better cards among the 3. Right, so I'm gonna farm him up, and maybe in future, once we get power release Cao Cao, we can bring these 2 cards out and give it a go. Right, so before I end off the video, here is an image on the right showing that Felix the Cat Duke is going to be converted into fire attribute if you put Tongtian Jiaozu and Felix in the same team. Right, so with that, as I mentioned, the mono fire demon setup will be the best for these 2 cards. Right, so the funny thing is, previously it is Tongtian Jiaozu that actually changes attribute according to the Cat Duke Fiend squad members. Right, so as you can see on the left, this is version 5.0, which is a very old version of TOS. You can see that Tongtian Jiaozu changes attribute instead of the Cat Duke Fiend squad cards. Right, so a bit of change in typing there. So all we have to do is to look forward to Tongtian Jiaozu's stage, right? As well as not forgetting Taisang Laojun and the water one, Yuan Shi Tian Zun. Right, so Tongtian Jiaozu is going to be out the latest, right, which is the following week, Wednesday or Thursday. Right, so we're going to take on Taisang Laojun the earliest, which is next Wednesday. Right, so overall, this is going to be my card review on these 3 cards. Right, so overall, not very game changing, but of course, it's going to be a bit of change within the active skill for these 3 cards. Right, so if you like this video, do give it a like, and then as usual, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.